Some parents swear it's the perfect balance: calm, connected, and clear. Others say it's just another soft parenting trend that'll backfire. So, what exactly is Type C parenting? How is it different from what your parents did? And should you be doing it too? Let's break it down before this trend gets mislabeled like all the others. So, where did Type C parenting even come from? Not some Ivy League study, not a parenting manual written by someone with a nanny and a cleaning service. It came from real parents, just like you and me, sharing their stories online. The wins, the meltdowns, how do I fix this without losing it? Moments. And in between all that, something new started to emerge. See? Type A parenting, too strict, too much pressure. Type B, too relaxed. Like, where are the boundaries? Relaxed. But most of us, we don't fully fit in either box. We're somewhere in between, trying to raise kind, capable kids without burning out or becoming a drill sergeant. That's where Type C comes in. The C stands for calm, conscious, and connected. It's about being present, but not permissive. It's about holding boundaries, but doing it with empathy. It's about pausing before reacting, choosing connection over control, and teaching, not threatening. You still say no, you still set rules, but you do it in a way that helps your child feel seen and safe, even when they're upset. And let's be clear, this isn't about being perfect. You'll still lose your patience sometimes. You're human. But Type C parenting gives you a roadmap for coming back to center. It's a mindset that says you can be a strong leader in your home and still lead with love. All right, so what does Type C parenting actually look like in real life? What are you doing differently when everything's hitting the fan? Here are a few core traits that show up again and again. First, you communicate clearly but calmly. You don't bark orders or sugarcoat. You say what you mean, but with empathy. Instead of "go to your room now," it's "I see you're upset, but throwing toys isn't okay. Let's take a break and talk it out." You're not letting your child run the show. You're just choosing connection while setting limits. Second, you model emotional regulation. If your kid is losing it, you don't match their energy. You become the calm in their chaos. And no, that doesn't mean you're a saint. It means you breathe before reacting and apologize when you don't. You're showing them in real time how to handle big feelings without shutting them down or blowing up. Third, you still set boundaries. Type C isn't about saying yes to everything. It's about how you say no. There's a big difference between "because I said so" and "I know you really want that, and it's hard to hear no, but we're not getting candy before dinner." One leaves your kid confused or resentful. The other builds trust, even if they're still mad. Fourth, you include your child in problem solving. Instead of just punishing every mistake, you ask, "What do you think we can do differently next time?" You turn moments of conflict into moments of growth, and over time, your child learns accountability without fear of failure. And finally, you're intentional about screen time, about transitions, about your own triggers. Because parenting from autopilot, that's usually when things go sideways. Type C parenting asks you to slow down, just enough to respond instead of react. It doesn't mean every day is peaceful, but it does mean every day is more conscious. It's not about being perfect, it's about being present. And that one shift, that's where the magic starts. How does Type C parenting stack up next to the old school styles? Let's break it down. You probably know about Type A parenting, the drill sergeant vibe. Everything is rules, structure, achievement. There's love, sure, but it often comes with conditions. You did great on that test? I'm proud of you. But mess up, suddenly you're lazy or grounded or getting a lecture that lasts longer than dinner. Then there's Type B parenting, total opposite, more relaxed, more hands-off. These parents mean well, but they can veer into friend, not parent territory. Boundaries get blurry. Consequences are inconsistent. Kids might feel loved, but they're often left to figure things out without much guidance. Now, enter Type C, right in the middle, but not wishy-washy. Type C parents bring structure without the shame. They offer support without letting everything slide. It's not my way or the highway, and it's not do whatever you want. It's I hear you, I care, but here's the line, and I'm going to hold it with kindness. Compared to authoritarian styles, Type C feels softer, but don't confuse that with being passive. Boundaries are still firm, but they're explained. Respect goes both ways. The child's voice matters, but so does the parent's authority. Compared to permissive or gentle styles, Type C adds the structure that's sometimes missing. It's not just about validating feelings. It's also about helping your child regulate those feelings, learn from them, and grow. And if you're wondering, no, this isn't some one-size-fits-all miracle method. There are days you'll feel more Type A, and others where you accidentally slide into Type B. That's normal, but Type C gives you a center to come back to, a North Star for your parenting decisions. It's about being the adult you needed when you were a kid, the one who listened, but still led, who didn't just control you, but taught you how to control yourself. And if that sounds different from how most of us were raised, yeah, that's kind of the point. All right, so what are the actual benefits of Type C parenting? Why are so many parents raving about it online? And why is it catching on so fast? Let's start with what people love. Type C parenting creates emotionally safe environments. Kids feel heard, respected, and more connected to their caregivers. That safety? It builds trust, and trust builds cooperation. You're not managing your child through fear. You're leading through relationship. Over time, that translates into fewer power struggles, better emotional regulation, and stronger problem-solving skills. Kids raised this way are often more confident, more secure, and more resilient when things get tough. It also helps the parent stay grounded. You're not stuck in a cycle of yelling, guilt, and apologizing. You learn how to pause, how to model calmness, and how to repair when things go sideways. And honestly, it just feels better. You go to bed knowing you held boundaries without crushing your kid's spirit. That's powerful. But let's be real. Type C parenting isn't without its critics. Some say it's too soft, that kids need stricter discipline to be ready for the real world. They argue that if you don't demand respect, you'll raise entitled kids who melt down at the first no. Others feel it asks too much from parents, especially moms. Let's be honest, emotional labor is real, and staying calm during a toddler tantrum, explaining every boundary, managing your own triggers, it's exhausting. Plus, if you didn't grow up with this kind of parenting, it can feel unfamiliar. Like, wait, I'm supposed to talk to my kid about their feelings? What even are feelings? And yeah, sometimes it doesn't work right away. You'll set a boundary with compassion, and your kid will still scream like you canceled Christmas. But here's the thing. Critics often confuse gentle with permissive. Type C isn't about avoiding conflict. It's about handling conflict with purpose. And while it may take more effort in the moment, the payoff is long-term. Kids raised with consistent, respectful guidance tend to need fewer punishments, not more. They learn how to regulate themselves because someone showed them how. So is it perfect? No. Is it easy? Definitely not. But for a growing number of families, it's feeling like the most sustainable, respectful way to raise humans who don't just follow rules, but understand why they matter. Let's be honest. Parenting philosophies sound great until your kid's screaming in Target over goldfish. So what does Type C parenting actually look like in the chaos of real life? Let's walk through a few common situations and how a Type C parent might handle them. The grocery store meltdown? Your toddler wants candy. You say no. They lose it. You feel your heart rate spike. Everyone's staring. Old school reaction? Stop it now. We're going home. Or maybe the permissive route? Fine, just take it. But the Type C approach? You kneel down, keep your voice steady, and say, I can see you're really upset. You were excited about getting a treat. It's hard when we don't get what we want. Then you pause, you breathe. Let's pick out a snack we do have at home. Want to help me choose dinner? It's not magic. They may still cry, but you didn't escalate. You didn't cave. You stayed calm and in control. The homework battle. It's after school. Your child is tired, cranky, and staring at their math worksheet like it's written in alien code. Old school style? You're doing this now. No excuses. Type B? Okay, skip it. It's fine. But Type C says, you seem frustrated. Want to talk about what's hard? You sit beside them. You suggest breaking it into 2 parts. Maybe even set a timer for a quick break in between. You're not removing the responsibility. You're giving them tools to manage it. The morning chaos. Your kid won't get dressed. Shoes are missing. You're already late. It's so easy to yell, snap, threaten. Instead, you say, I know mornings are tough. Do you want to race me to see who gets dressed faster? Or would you rather wear the red shirt or the blue one? You're redirecting with connection, not commands. Type C parenting doesn't avoid stress. It meets it with intention. It shifts the energy without giving up your authority. And sometimes, the win isn't that your kid immediately cooperates. It's that you stayed grounded. You modeled patience. You taught resilience. That matters more than we give ourselves credit for. So, should you try Type C parenting? Honestly, that depends. Not on your social media feed, not on what your neighbor swears by, but on what kind of relationship you want with your child and what feels sustainable for you. If you're tired of yelling, threatening, and then feeling guilty 10 minutes later, if you've tried the sticker charts, timeouts, and power struggles, if you're looking for a way to lead your child without losing your connection to them, then yeah, it might be worth exploring. But let's be real. Type C parenting isn't about overnight transformation. You don't suddenly become calm, connected, and conscious just because you read a quote on Instagram. You're still going to mess up. You'll still raise your voice. You'll still have days when cereal spills on the dog, someone's missing a shoe, and nobody brushed their teeth, but the difference is, Type C parenting gives you a place to come back to, a mindset, a foundation, not perfection, but direction. And that direction says you can be firm and kind, you can set limits and stay emotionally available, you can teach consequences without using fear. It doesn't mean you don't get angry. It means you learn how to respond instead of react. And when you do mess up, you model how to repair. Because kids don't need perfect parents. They need authentic ones. Ones who say, "I'm sorry I yelled earlier. I was feeling overwhelmed, but that's not your fault." Or, "I should have listened better. Can we try again?" That kind of parenting sticks. It teaches emotional intelligence, it teaches accountability, and it strengthens your bond in ways that punishment never could. So no, Type C parenting isn't a miracle cure. It's not a one-size-fits-all answer. But for a lot of parents, it feels like a breath of fresh air in a world full of extremes. It's not about doing everything right. It's about doing the next moment better. And that's something all of us can try. Have you tried any of these Type C strategies? Do you think this style could work in your home? Or do you still have questions? Drop a comment below and share your experience, your doubts, your wins, or even your total parenting fails. We've all got them. This is a no-judgment space. We're building a community here. If this video gave you something to think about, maybe a new idea, or just the comfort of knowing you're not alone, go ahead and tap that like button. And if you want more real talk parenting content without the fluff or guilt, hit subscribe and turn on notifications. We've got more episodes coming that break down parenting trends, tantrum tips, and all the "why is my kid like this" moments you deal with every day. Because you're not just raising kids, you're raising future humans, and how we show up matters. Thanks for watching, Parent Squad. Keep showing up, keep learning, and we'll see you in the next one.